Okay, so this is the beginning of the website design, and we're going to go step by step. So you guys can really just watch me for now and then follow along after, or if you can follow along and watch, go ahead, but don't worry, you can always rewatch this if you miss something. So the first step has nothing to do with Dreamweaver. I actually do have it open, but we're not going to worry about that right now. The first thing we're going to do is create a new folder, and I'm going to call it Travel Site, one word. One thing to note is with HTML5, it's a little more forgiving, and it will, like, if you have a capital letter where you should have a lowercase, a lot of times it will be okay with it. But HTML can be very funny if you name your files with capitals or lowercase. So everything other than this site right here, other than this one folder, should generally be lowercase. And if you want to keep this lowercase, you can. But the first key is literally just to make your folder. This is where all of your content is going to go. When we open up this folder, we're going to add a couple folders to it. The first folder is going to be called Images, lowercase. Then we're going to have another folder called Resources, lowercase. And we're actually going to create a text file, and we're going to call that, so Resources and Images. Once we have that in there, let's go see if I can find a text word processor. I don't want to use, let's see, Notepad. I love how it's not here. Alright, we're just going to open up someone else's text file because I can't seem to find Notepad. Delete that. And I'm going to save this. And we're going to call, let's exit these ones. Delete copy. I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to name this text file. You can use a Microsoft Word file, whatever you want to call it. This is just going to be a file where you keep your notes for your sizes, and I'm going to show you exactly what sizes to type into this as well. So I'm going to call it Notes. I am going to save it to the desktop, and it looks like I don't really want any of these encodings, but we'll just click notes.txt, hit save. And now we should have a notes text file that I can now add content to. I'm going to open back up my travel site, and I'm going to put this in the resources folder. So this is essentially the root of what you're trying to create here. So you have your travel site folder, your two folders inside, and then your notes. And now inside the notes, I'm actually going to put a couple of measurements. And you can refer back to this, or I'll try and provide you with this file. So don't get too stressed about it, but I want to write down a couple of items that we're going to size our images to. So that's actually something we're going to be doing today. We're going to be in Photoshop first, cutting all our images and cropping them to size so that we're all working with the same size images. So the first item is a banner, which is going to be 1000 pixels by 200 pixels. And this is just for you to refer back to so that when we do all of our CSS styling, it's all going to be consistent. We're going to have a welcome image, and that's going to be 350 pixels by 400 pixels. We're also going to have a gallery box, and that is going to be 600 pixels by 400 pixels. We're going to have 3 thumbnails, and they are going to be 100 by 100 pixels. Make that lowercase, just to be neat. Okay, we're also going to have a contact image, and that is going to be 300 by 400 pixels. And finally, we're going to have a footer, which is going to be 1000 pixels by 200 pixels. And then I'm going to save that document. And now we have notes. So the next step is going to be to gather images and then adjust them to these sizes and add any kind of, fancy stuff to it there. We're also going to find a seamless background texture, and I have a whole bunch that I can provide to you. So now that we have that information, I can actually see it here. I'm going to go gather my images. So I actually wanted to start from scratch with you guys. You guys were supposed to have grabbed some of your images, but I'm going to get them here so that you can see the resources and follow along if you haven't already done so. So I need to do some travel images. So I'm going to pick Japan because I actually have some really nice seamless textures that will work really well for this. Pixabay is royalty free, so that will make it really easy. And then all you have to do is click free download, choose your size, and I actually don't really need the largest size. Hit download. It's going to ask me to do this. It may ask you to create an account, but they won't email you, so it's not a big deal. So I'm just going to gather a few different images, some ones at random, and download these. And the only thing I'm looking for when I'm downloading these is making sure that their pixel size is going to work. So when you hit free download, you'll see you have a couple different sizes. None of the images I just listed were over 1,000 pixels wide, so I don't need to download the largest file there. Let's see if I can pick a few more. This is a nice wide one. It actually doesn't even look like Japan, it looks like China, but download it anyway. And now you won't have to keep entering this if you actually have an account, so just something to note. So based on what I had in my information, it looks like I need 3 images for the gallery, we need a banner, and we need a welcome images. So that's just a total of 5 images, so it's not too many. It would be nice, if possible, to pick things that kind of have a matching color scheme or on a similar theme, but you can do whatever suits you. So we're going to do another one here. So now I have 4, and it looks like I just need 1 more. I don't even know what word these are. There we go. And all these are going to appear in your downloads folder. And I'm actually going to move these to the resources folder first. And the reason I put them in the resources folder and not the images folder is that what I'm trying to do is I'm actually trying to put the root images in resources. Resources is not where we're going to be linking anything into our website. It's just a place where all of our original files, notes, diagrams, etc. are going to be housed so that we can have access to them. So I'm going to move these 5 images into the resources folder, and that's kind of where we're started. So the only thing left after this that we're going to need is a background texture, and we can actually search for them. I have a whole variety on my computer, which I'll probably grab from there, but if we do seamless background textures, you can often find a tile that will allow you to have a seamless pattern. So there's plenty of them out there if you don't have one. Looks like I'm not seeing any there. But I know for a fact these are because I actually have these in my file. So for now, I'm actually just going to download this one. And then I will select a new one when I get to my other files. So once you have all your files ready, you basically have everything to get started on your website.